Hello once again, ladies and gentlemen. This is Graz bringing you another review. This one on Star Wars The Old Republic. EA and BioWare really hyped this game up in the beginning. This was supposed to be the end-all be-all WoW killer. Now, how many times have we heard that label before? Well, I'm going to go in and take a look at it and give my opinion on what's going on. Well, what can I say? Everything looked and sounded pretty good when it first came out. You know, it was hyped up to begin with, and everyone was just ready to go because it was Star Wars. And who doesn't love Star Wars, quite frankly? You know, this was supposed to be the big thing, the next WoW killer. And quite frankly, I'm really tired of hearing that label. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, in the beginning, everything was awesome. The questing was there, you know, the graphics were slightly better than WoW, at least I think so, and in maybe like the texture category and all. But I mean, it was supposed to be the up and coming thing. But what happened? After a while, when people started maxing out their level, all of a sudden there was one thing that BioWare and EA missed. End game content. What happened? Well, it was like a giant bottleneck. Basically, someone really botched it. They really didn't think it through and put more content in the end. So once you got there, there was only so much stuff you could do before you said, what's next? I mean, if you're going to have content, you got to at least have endgame content. I mean, as for the storyline itself, I mean, everything is wonderful there. They did a great job in creating an immense story across different classes and whatnot of just making things, you know, perfect. I mean, it's awesome. When you level, it's a really great experience. But unfortunately, where they really dropped the ball at was at the end game. Now, that's the point I really can't figure out is what were they thinking when that happened. But I mean, there were other quirks in there as well. Kind of like how the patcher update bug, you know, every so often, if you got a patch and the patch failed, you had to uninstall the game, reinstall it, which wasn't really the bad thing, but the bad thing was once you reinstalled the game, you had to download all those patches again, and that kind of really got bad after a while. You kind of see where it would go from. And, you know, I didn't think it ever happened to me, but it happened not only once, but twice. And like I said, the pain really isn't installing the game again, rather than dealing with the repatch. That's going to take some time. A few hours, quite frankly. So, yeah, I really can't figure out in that part why they can't do other games do. For instance, you know, if the patch fails, there's a revert button or there's a revert option where it goes back to the last patch. That way the game actually works and you can actually try to reinstall the patch again. But for some reason, BioWare just seemed to have dropped the ball on that one. I mean, I don't really understand that, too, is why they kind of left it out. But, I mean, it's not really a bad experience, and it's not a bad game. Definitely the leveling is there. The PvP is somewhat there. I really haven't PvP'd much. But, I mean, ultimately, for a game that was labeled a WoW killer, they just really dropped the ball. And, I mean, once you say, oops, we're sorry, but don't worry, we're going to fix it, now all of a sudden you've got players waiting off to the side saying, you know, should I keep my account running? Should I keep my, you know, should I just suspend it and wait till they bring it back with a new patch? And that's also where they kind of dropped the ball on. They made all these plans. They put out the patch 1.2 that was supposed to make everything great. And they said, well, if you come back, we'll give you a free mini pet and everything. You'll love your experience. Well, unfortunately, two things happened. One, people did come back and they found that the new content really wasn't all that and they canceled their subscription. And two, the people that left never really came back at all. There was some that said, you know what, it's not worth it. And they just kind of moved on to greener pastures with other MMOs out there. So the real problem here is the fact that both EA, BioWare really just dropped the ball from the gate. So for a game that had so much hype, it just really just fell flat. I guess if I had to give it a rating, I would give, you know, the leveling content and all that a really solid 4 out of 5. But I mean, for what EA did, you know, with the end game and everything, just leaving people hanging, I'm going to have to give it a 1 out of 5. Maybe even a half. A half of a 1. You know? All in all, in general, although I will say, it gets about a 2 out of 5. It's just what it is. I mean, it had the potential, it had a chance for greatness. But that stumbling block in the beginning just really hurt its chances. And now, just recently let go data suggested that they done lost 400k subscribers. Now, that may not sound like much, especially to a game like World of Warcraft where they have, I don't know, 10.3 million subscribers. Okay, that's one thing. But Star Wars only had 1.7 million. And losing 400k, that leaves them around 1.3 million. And that's actually still dropping right now. So, before you know it, this game could be on life support. I don't want to be all doom and gloomy about everything here. Please don't take it that way. But EA and BioWare really have their work cut out for them if they want to save this franchise. And, they have very little to no time left to be able to do it. So those guys better get to work on coming up with something real quick. I would hope to see they do it, because I do have a series running on there, but only time will tell. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you found this review at least somewhat informative. Please leave your comments below. Let us know how you feel, or, what your opinion is. If you like the video, please give it a like. Are always appreciated, as well as comments. Take a look around our video forum. We have plenty of videos on different games, including the world Star Wars. And please come back and next time watch another one. Why not? This is Graz. Hope you enjoyed it. I will see you again next time.